Production workflow in Cavewire is extremely flexible. Today we're going to look at how to set up the default tracking stages for production in the manufacturing module of Cavewire. So to get to our tracking stage manager, we go from control to specify stages, and we'll start with our new stage in here. So the first stage we want to put in, some people call it print job card, or another name for it would be awaiting production. So this particular stage is for products that have been ordered through a variety of sort of channels and they need to get made. So they'll come into this first tracking stage in here, into the tracking station production. So the station type will be an internal workshop. The main difference is in here, an internal supplier allows customers to be able to buy from this particular stage. So at the moment we're going to leave it as an internal workshop. Status will be enabled, and our stock warehouse, because we haven't set up any stock warehousing at the moment, we'll leave this as default. That may have a different name depending on how your system is set up. So now we'll save that stage. So now we'll set up our second stage. So essentially this second stage will be our production stage, or we can either call it in production or manufacturing. So this will be a manufacturing stage. Obviously it's going to be in the production station. Again, it's going to be an internal workshop because we're working on the product at the moment. If it was an internal supplier, we could allow customers to buy off that particular stage at the time. Status will be enabled, and again our stock warehouse will leave as default. So the third default stage that we'll set up will be our QC, or quality control stage. So essentially once the product has gone through production and production complete has been marked, we'll leave it in our quality control stage until that's passed. So again we'll leave this as an internal workshop and leave it as enabled. Stock warehouse again, just default. Once that product's passed quality control, it'll then be moved into our dispatch stage. So this one, again, we'll still leave it as production. We'll leave it as internal workshop unless you want people to be able to buy it from there. However, if it's in dispatch already, it's probably either been sold or is about to be moved into the stock room. So we'll leave it as workshop for now. We'll also enable this particular stage. Stock warehouse will be default. Our next stage is our stock room. So this is where we keep all of the stock or products that have gone through production that haven't been allocated or aren't on order for a particular customer. We'll want to place them in our stock room ready to be sold to our various channels through our various sales channels. So this one, it will be actually in distribution because now we're looking to distribute this product. It will be an internal supplier because we want to be able to supply the product to our customers. We'll mark this as enabled. And again, our stock warehouse will be default. Obviously, if you have multiple stock rooms set up, you might also have multiple warehouses set up. For now, we'll just leave it as default. If one of our products has been sold and dispatched and invoiced, we'll need to set up our complete stage. So this is essentially one of our archive stage. So we can see that essentially once we set up, or once we've placed a product into the complete stage, we don't need to worry about it too much, but we also always have that record of that product going through production, so we can see who scanned it through production each stage, who ordered the product, etc. So we'll leave all of these as is as well, so it's enabled. We don't need a station type for this one because it is complete. Again, stock warehouse we'll leave as default. Our next stage is called find and allocate. Again, you can name these however suits your business needs. This is essentially the stage that occurs if a customer or an internal staff member has allocated one of our stock products to our retailers or wholesalers or to someone within the factory, one of our customers in our system. So we know that it has been bought or picked, I guess. Now we need to go and find and allocate that particular product, so then we can move product from find and allocate into dispatch with our daily dispatch, or however our business works. So this one again will be in distribution because it's in the distribution phase. We don't need to worry about the station type for this one. We will mark it as enabled, and again just leave it as default for stock. So our final two, I guess, default stages are ones that are basically for instances where a board has been cancelled. So first of all, we'll set up cancelled. These will get moved into archive just to take them out of our production screen view. We can leave this as none. Generally, we'll put all of these to enabled and leave this as default. And finally, our last default tracking stage will be one that hopefully we won't need to use too often. This one's essentially called the missing stage. So if for whatever reason one of your products has gone missing during production, you might need to basically move it out of production line so it doesn't sort of get in the way of all of your other products that are moving through production, and instead we'll just be able to mark it as missing for the time being. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to find that product, and if that is the case, we'll be able to move the product from the missing tracking stage back into wherever it was in production. So again, this will be in our archive stage just to get it out of our production screen. But as always, we want to keep it available to be moved back in, and also make notes on if we have any notes about when or where it went missing, just to help us with all that tracking. So now that we've added in those 9 tracking stages, you can sort of start to get a bit of an outline of how your products will move through the manufacturing process, and also some of the transparency that you'll be able to get when creating your different tracking stage and your production workflow.